What's up, Miami Dolphins fans? It's the day after the draft, Sunday. I want to know you guys' opinion on the Dolphins draft. A lot of people been criticizing Chris Greer, the GM, but I always thought he picked well. I just thought it was more of a coaching issue, more on the defensive side, even though they did well last year. But some of the people that stood out to me, Quinn Ewers, the backup quarterback in the late rounds. I thought they could have probably went with like a guy like uh Tyler but of course he was going second round. They reached for him. I kind of like the Kyle McCord guy from Syracuse, but I definitely thought they knocked it out the park with the best running back in the draft to me. No disrespect to Quinshawn Judkins, but I feel like Ollie Gordon coming into the year was that guy. Being at 6'1", 225, a big fast guy. I think that's gonna help the Dolphins with that short yardage and between the tackles to go along with Jalen Wright. I like that they went with linemen in the first 2 rounds with the guy out of Michigan, Grant, and also the guy out of Arizona. I can't pronounce his name. With the Polynesian names, they're kind of hard to pronounce. I definitely like the Jason Marshall pick because I feel like he didn't do well at Florida, but he did okay. He was more of a coverage guy, but not a big playmaker. But I think he'll go well. I don't know about them moving off Jalen Ramsey. I think that's a little bit early. I think you just eat the contract, let Cam Smith or Jason Marshall step up because you need a second and third corner. Who else comes to mind out of this draft? I'm trying to think. Okay, Jordan Phillips in that middle. I know he was kind of a mid-round pick, but that guy out of Maryland, a big, stout guy, athletic. I think he's just what we need, especially with Anthony Weaver being our defensive coordinator. I think even though he predated Sealer, I think they've shown the ability to do well with those edge rushers. Now let's see what they can do with a second tackle. I feel like the Dolphins can be a defensive-led team, a run-led team with Ollie Gordon. And if Tua gets hurt, we know we have Quinn Ewers, which he's a game manager / big play. He have more of an arm than Tua. But I think Mike McDaniel on the offensive side, if the defense is shored up with Weaver, I think the Dolphins can have like another 11-6 season or something like that. They may be reaching, but you're optimistic early in the year after the draft. But I feel like quietly the Dolphins had, I'll say, an A- type of draft. I'll say an A-. I like the picks that they picked all the way through the middle and the late rounds. I wish they could have got a quarterback maybe earlier, but Quinn Ewers, I guess he's not a threat to Tua, but he's a step up from the Hunleys. And the guy that we thought was going to be something out of Kansas State, I can't even think of his name now, but he's gone anyway, the backup that they took a few years ago. But basically, I feel like the Dolphins, they looking up. So Ty24 Sports, check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Get in the comment section. Let me know if you don't think I'm right or I'm wrong. Go Dolphins.